Hello everyone, welcome to Scorcher Toys at AnyMoon.com's transformation guide for Bandai's DX-VF31AX Kairos Plus toys. If you have transformed a VF31 Siegfried toy, most of this is going to be pretty intuitive, but I know people love to have their exact variants being transformed. So here we go, I'm doing Mirage, same for Bogue or Hayate. I might even swap them in at some point. We are going to begin transformation. We'll bring these fins down, although they'll just come right back up again in GERWALK, so you don't absolutely have to do this. And I'm going to pull my canards up a little bit too to help get them out of the way. And then we're going to take these pegs in the back here that attach from here into the leg, and we're going to bring those out. And then from the side, I'm going to bring the leg down at this GERWALK joint, we call it. And then you can extend the knee and bring the knee forward and then pull down on your foot, open your foot. This is on a little rotating ball joint, and you're gonna need to use that because we're gonna sweep the foot all the way back. And now we're gonna repeat that on the other side. Now we're going to focus on freeing the arm up, and the easiest way to do that is to get your finger and pry up from behind. So just give it a little push that way and then push it back down, and now this trap door is very easy to open, and you can see the hand underneath. The Kairos Plus has a peg right here that is very stiff, so what you're going to do then is bring that finger back behind the arm and support right up around the joint here. And you're going to pop it free. Heard a loud pop there. Once that happens, we can rotate that wing out of the way, and then we can bring this whole arm all the way forward like so. My toy is looking a little awkward here. I'm going to go ahead and bring those kneecaps a little further forward, and you'll see I'll be able to put the toy down. I can bring the wings down, I could spin the toy around, and we can close those trap doors that we opened for the hands. And then I can go ahead and bring up the mission pack now as well, before we go ahead and focus on getting these arms finished. Okay, to do the arm, we're gonna go ahead and pull it away from the body like so. And we're gonna twist it out like so. So now you've got your shoulder where it needs to be. And then we're gonna come down to our arm here, and we can bring this around. And it's nice to do it when it's still in this direction, because then you can see the peg. You can line it up with the slot on this side and really pinch things together, hopefully. Let's see, there you go. So that's into position now. And then as you can see, the arm is backwards. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna rotate it forward. Now be careful when you're rotating these things, because this canard here in certain positions can be in the way. So obviously you wanna avoid that. I'm gonna bring my hand down and put that in position, fold this over, and then this is weird. There's a little sliding mechanism here in the forearm that brings that all down. So you can bring that down, and now your arm is in position, and repeat on the other side. Turning our attention to the back of the toy, we are now gonna get that mission pack in its proper position, and what I'm gonna do is rotate that around. There's this piece right here that attaches to the gun, and if you just apply a little pressure away, forward, that will swing and pivot. Then the gun can swing and pivot. Now I feel like you could, if you wanted to, leave it like that. But you can also then bring the gun down and extend it front and back, and then the barrels are close for whatever this thing is and this thing to being the same length, so that's probably the desired position. Now returning back here, I'm gonna go ahead and bring up my vertical stabilizers, and there we have GERWALK mode. There are a few things you're going to want to check once you've gotten here. It's really easy to dislodge this front area, so you're going to pull that up, push that, There's a little plate underneath. You're going to push up on that, and then that should make sure everything is stiff through here. It's easy to knock your wings down and get them droopy, so go ahead and push up on them. You want to make sure your vertical stabilizers are symmetrical. You can do whatever you want with the gun. And then on the back of the toy here, there are pivot points here. So if you are not getting that width of stance that you really wanted, go ahead and adjust those as well. The feet allow you to do a whole bunch of things. And then you can have your guns pointing however you want. And you can even pop this gun off and put it in the hand if that's what you prefer. Otherwise, you're in GERWALK mode, enjoy it, and then we're moving on. Now we're ready to continue our transformation to Battroid mode. And if you have a, spoiler alert, a VF31 Siegfried toy, most of this is going to be straight from those instructions. Now we are going to start with the wing, which we fold over. And as we do this, we can kind of pivot it so that hard point ends up facing straight out. That really only matters if we're going to use super parts, and then we can push down on the vertical stabilizer and repeat on the other side. Next, we're going to take the front of our toy and just rotate it downward, pivot the whole thing up, and we are going to then get a little fingernail underneath here and pop out that crotch plate. And you can see my my back is coming apart, but that's actually a good thing. We want that to happen with where we're going. That will come out like so. Now there is a little hinge here that actually slides forward as we bring this down. So that should be like that. And then we're just going to grab these little nubs here and bring those forward as well. Toy should look something like this. Again, this might be starting to separate now, but what I'm going to do next is turn the toy around. There's a little slot in the back here. I'm just going to push my finger in there so I can pop those hips free from their pegs right there. That allows everything to come down. And then I'm going to take my legs and we're going to get those into the Battroid position. As I do this, I like to try to support the other half of the toy with my finger in the back here. And then we're going to bring these straight. We will take our feet, we will straighten these out as well. And then you could, if you want, collapse those legs. We're gonna reposition them when we get to Battroid. And then there is a extension gimmick right here that comes out and lets you get a wider stance. So that's cool. And now we have, let's make sure this is down. We have a joint right here that lets this part come back. And in order to engage that, we need to break the back here. That sounds terrible, but we're going to pop that forward and then we're going to pivot. And now you want to make sure this is clear. As that rotates backwards, and this can pop out, it's just a peg that can go back in. And then this comes forward and settles right in between there, which is all good. And then this is going to come forward, and what we're going to have to do is get the head out before it collapses. If you're transforming a Hayate or Bogue version of this toy, this next step you can skip. But for Mirage, you're going to want to do it. And that is, there are these little purple fold crystal pieces, and you're supposed to fold them up and out to create some clearance for the lasers on either side. Now looking from behind, there's this neck plate cover here. There's also this chest piece, which we're going to fold out to begin with. That's going to go in front of the nose cone, and it gives you the ability to rock this plate. And we have a piece in the back. You're going to get a fingernail in there and rotate it around so that it slides in and becomes the neck there. And we can turn the toy around now, and we can push up to get that head free. As you can see there, turning it back around here, it's easier to look at from this side. You're going to push that down and up, and that should be pretty solid there. Turning the toy around, you can see the neck fully extended out now. And we're just going to pivot that around, and there you go. So once that's done, we can get our toy to come forward like so. Again, watch that little neck cover. And we are then on the side here, there are these prongs, and you want to get them to collapse into the black bars. So like so. Now that black bar is underneath the top of that prong, locking the chest firmly into place. Turning our toy back around, we have these little locks right here. We're just gonna swing those down, get a fingernail in them, bring it down, and then that allows you to bring the whole back of the toy down, press firmly into place, and it will lock. And then we wanna get our guns into position. And the best thing to do there is keep one thumb on that back plate to keep it secure, and then sort of inch these forward because they're pretty tight, and rotate them up and over like so. And then we're gonna take our toy and bring the wings back, and you're more or less in Battroid mode. All right, time for some fine tuning. You wanna grab your intake covers now. There's a peg on the top that fits into that little slot in the back, so you know how to put that in. You hear a little click there. You want your legs to have one extension. You want to check that your ankles are extended properly, that this heel piece is in the right area and looks good. So that will all come together very nicely. Get your shoulders how you want them. Head laser sweep. With Mirage, you probably want them forward. Those guns in the back might hit them, but obviously you do what you want to do with the head and make it look cool. And really posing overall, you've got lots and lots of options now. Everything should be nice and sturdy. You shouldn't feel like anything is loose. Everything should hold together very well as you handle the toy. Do check out my full review of the original release and all of the reissues, as well as all the accessories. If you found this helpful, please subscribe, leave a comment, and thanks for watching, everyone.